when other nations begin to look into Nigeria, you will know there is a lot of problem. A man called Piotr Sawinski is the director of Auschwitz Memorial in Poland. He said he's ready to be imprisoned in Nigeria so that Umar Farouk, a 13-year-old boy sentenced for blasphemy, can regain freedom. And with this, you also know of a young man that they claim is a singer, and they said he said certain things against Muhammad. And according to their Sharia law, he has to be killed. He has to be hanged. And I wonder what kind of religion is this? They said Muhammad is a prophet and a human being for that matter. And I try to understand, I try to confirm from people who are vast in Quran. I'm not talking of some books written to explain the Quran or some Islamic clerics or imams or whatever it is, writing books trying to explain what Muhammad did or what the Quran says and all of that. I'm talking about the Quran directly. Is there anywhere written in the Quran that you should be killed if you blaspheme against Muhammad? Is there anywhere in the Quran, if you're a Muslim on this platform, is there anywhere written on the Quran where you should be killed? I believe the Quran is the Quran. This Sharia and laws and all of these things written, all these things written here and there, they are not clear anyway, as anyone can manipulate all this stuff. So this Sharia court in Kano had convicted Farouk for using disparaging language on Allah during a disagreement with his friend, using disparaging words. Now, it could be as a young man, they had some talks and all of a sudden someone decided to say he said this. Where was it recorded what he said, and what is the enormity of what he has said? How then does it equal to imprisonment with ad labor? One would wonder what's really going on in the north of Nigeria and many of these Islamic countries. I understand that religion is a very sensitive thing, but then let us look at what this Sharia is all about. They say Sharia is an Islamic religious law that governs not only religious rituals, but also aspects of day-to-day life in Islam. They say Sharia literally translated means the way. There is extreme variation in how Sharia is interpreted and implemented among and within Muslim societies today. Now, that is the major part that I want us to focus on. There is an extreme variation in how this Sharia is interpreted and how it is implemented, meaning there is always a room for extremism. There is always a room for manipulation. There is always a room for, a lot, to be kind of, anyone can accuse anyone, and it's a very murky water to tread into. But unfortunately, people don't choose where to be born into. You get into a place and you see yourself in that family and that nation, and that's just what it is. So if you're born in the north of Nigeria, where some group of people quickly came up with the Sharia law, claiming that, yes, the Sharia is the way. I understand that there are certain things that are not supposed to be. Yes, there are certain that are not supposed to be. And sometimes certain laws kind of help put those things in check for the betterment of the society. But when you look at everything in the north of Nigeria, with all that Sharia and everything, you still don't see progress there. Look at their criminal politicians and terrorism and all of these things happening there. How come these Sharia laws and the Islamic doctrine has not helped them? Rather, it has turned them into extreme people who are fanatics, people who are terrorists, people who do not even understand how to have a ranch and do what they need to do properly. It has turned them to a place, a region, a people. It has even made the religion something that people do not even want to embrace or want to be part of. At the end of the day, you hear them saying that Islam is fast growing. I said, and I wonder, where is it fast growing? It's fast growing because they marry a lot of wives and they have children. Fast growing where? Can you just convert people to Islam? People run away from it because they do not understand it. Why? Because there is a Sharia law that can be misinterpreted or manipulated. And aside that, extremism is also involved in this. So I'm not trying to berate any Muslim on this platform. There are Muslims who are conservative. There are Muslims who are extreme fanatics. There are Muslims who understand and try to relate the Quran according to what it says, rather than manipulate and twist it into something else so as to kind of, commit crime. So according to Sharia, they say Sharia regulates all human actions and puts them, I'm talking of is Muslims, and puts them into 5 categories: obligatory, recommended, permitted, disliked, or forbidden. Now, I'm not going to go into the plenty of it, like go deeper on what it is all about, but I'm going to focus on this 13-year-old boy that has been sentenced for blasphemy, and this man all the way from Poland. He in a letter he dated dated September 25th, an address to Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired the president of Nigeria. Sewin's case sought pardon for Farouk. He said if Buhari is unable to facilitate the teenager's release, he and his 119 volunteers will serve a month in a Nigerian prison on Farouk's behalf. In his words, he said, I permit myself to write to you personally about a young boy named Omar Farouk, who was convicted recently in a Sharia court in Kano State in the northwest part of Nigeria after being accused of blasphemy used during an argument with a friend. He said, I wish to request the pardon of this 13-year-old boy, regardless of what he said. He cannot be treated as fully aware and responsible given his age. If it turns out that the words of this child absolutely require 120 months of imprisonment and even you are not able to change that, I suggest that in place of the child, 120 adult volunteers from all over the world gathered by us, myself personally among them, would serve a month in a Nigerian prison. In total, the price for the child's transgression will be the same, and we will all avoid the worst. If you agree to grant clemency or to the above personal in lieu of punishment, I will make an attempt to provide financial help for the boy's proper education. This way, instead of a destroyed young man, Nigeria will gain an aware and educated young citizen. You will undoubtedly agree with the statement that human rights begin with the rights of the child. I kindly ask you to consider my proposal favorably. That's a request that came days after the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, appealed to the Kano State government to reverse the jail sentence. Kano State is a blood-sucking kind of state, aside the other parts of the north. It's just people want a break, and look at it. What is this young man going to do? All because he was born into a family that kind of have this extremism and this fanatic kind of characteristics. Just look at the majority children on the street. They are not catered for. They just give birth to children, pour them on the street, make them useless. What kind of people? Very wicked people. Look at the governor, Gandola, stealing and counting dollars. And he knows that the system has to remain that way so that he can get votes. He's not ready to go against such system. What kind of people are these people? They are so backwards. Everything there in the north is just... And people are saying, let them go their own. Let everybody stay their own. Go your own. Go and do your thing. But then, what will you do to a child like this? How would you help this kind of child? But you can still help after you've broken apart. We don't have anything to do with those people. They are backward. They are archaic. Their things are kind of different. So the 13-year-old boy has been put in jail for 120 months. The other one, they said they are going to hang him, cut off his neck. And we've seen several, terrible, kind of jungle justice. Terrible jungle justice being meted out on people that they accused of abusing Allah, abusing Muhammad, or abusing something that is related to Islam, or something that has to do with Islam anyway. I'm not saying that people should not respect you, that you should, but when it comes to a point whereby people begin to be this way, it's a tough one, It's a very tough one. And I wonder till today, why someone will fight for what they term as Almighty Allah, and they said that they are the slave of Allah. If you are the slave of Allah, as Allah mandated you to kill people for him, if someone says something against me, probably it's written in the Quran. Don't quote any hadith or something written by one scholar. Is it written in the Quran that if you say anything against Muhammad, you shouldn't wait for internal judgment from God? You should give the judgment right now, kill the person. Is it written there that if you say anything that is against Islam, you should be killed, or something like this should happen to you? I want you guys to let us deal with this. It's very tough. It's terrible.